Hello, community. Welcome to A Cupful with myself, Katlego Mwebi. Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's episode of A Cupful. You are officially part of this community. Make yourself at home because you are definitely home. A Cupful's main purpose is to help young people, such as you and me, navigate the in betweens of life, all the while working on healing, growing, learning, and ultimately thriving. Life is constantly happening in so many different ways. And if this space can give you even a little bit of affirmation or knowledge or wisdom, or even just the strength to keep going, whatever you need in your current season and that which you can apply in your future seasons, my job would most definitely be done. So, in light of it being Women's Month, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to speak to some really incredible Black women that I have had the privilege of knowing, and for some having good friendships with, about different things, but specifically around well-being as Black women and how they experience it and how they take care of themselves and so forth. And so, our very first guest is my good friend, DJ and wine extraordinaire, business owner, and now student, Katlego Upendi, otherwise known as Kat Upendi. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you?
Hey, Terezo. I'm good. No, I'm lying. I'm actually lying. I'm going through it. I'm not gonna lie. There's just so much happening. But
Yeah,
despite it all, I'm keeping positive. Yeah, I'm finding ways to cope.
yeah. I think that's
How
the
are you
important.
doing?
I'm also I'm you know what? I'm taking it one day at a time, let me say that. And some days are really, really good and some days are just like, okay, I can get through this, that's fine. And some days are just like really, really hard. And I think what's helping me is just understanding that this is life and I'm going to have to find a way to navigate it and find a way to take care of myself, even through like the really, really bad times and the times where
Yeah,
feel like it's almost impossible to get into taking care of myself and like putting myself first or whatever I might need to do. I'm learning, I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm trying to figure it out,
yeah,
and
that's true.
like you said, finding ways to navigate what can be like a really, really difficult time. I feel like especially being in our 20s, it's just like it doesn't get better. It kind of seems like it gets
Girl,
worse.
I was
Especially
under the assumption that these are my prime years, and I'm just like, I
like
don't know. I'm not getting prime years from this. It's not giving that. Like it's just giving stress
nothing at
and
all.
turmoil.
My
Like,
goodness. My goodness. These are not, no, these are not our prime years. I also refuse to believe that these are our prime years. It can't be. Let's just wait until we get into the next age group.
yeah,
But
I'm waiting. I'm
not this
waiting
girl.
with bated breath.
Most definitely not this. So today, you and I are going to be talking about just how you have learned to settle and adjust to who you need to show up as in your different forms. I want to say forms, but I also want to say in the different roles that you play in your life, and also remembering to still show up for yourself because you do lead a life where you need to play different roles in different places at different times. So I'd really like to know, and I think this is something that a lot of women in their 20s can relate with, like young Black women in their 20s can really relate with. There's so much that you're trying to do for yourself, and there's like also such little time, and you need to also be mindful of your well-being and taking care of yourself, but you also have all these roles to play. So like, how have you been learning to adjust to who you need to be and how you need to show up? Let's specifically start with number one, as a DJ.
um, so how I've been balancing showing up for myself and then DJing
Yeah, so
is
the first one being like DJing.
Okay, okay. I think, oh shucks, it's actually hard to answer.
Because now
You
you're
know, because
thinking about it.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, first of all, I love DJing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but it gets busy sometimes. Like, it gets really, really
Yeah.
busy, and you get so flippin' tired, you know? So
Yeah.
there are times where I'm just like, okay, I have 6 gigs this weekend, and four of them
Yeah.
on Saturday, three on Sunday, but like I am so flippin' tired, you know? And
Yeah.
it's been, especially recently, it's been hard because like I'm especially at a stage in my life where I'm really trying to build for myself financially as well. That is like,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
am I gonna take all of these gigs and exhaust myself? Or should I just, like ration them out? Which one can I be like, hey, I can't take this, I'll be busy,
Yeah.
even if being busy
Yeah.
means I'm resting, you know? So I've just had to learn that, and that yes, we are trying to build, um, be a professional still by saying, sorry, I cannot make this gig that you're trying
Yeah.
to book
Yeah.
me for. But obviously not like at
Yeah.
the 11th hour, you know,
Yes,
like
of course. Of course.
do you
Yes.
mean not like on the day at the 11th hour, oh, sorry, I can't come. Like it's just so unprofessional, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I try to just manage my my energy, if I could call it that, like physical
Yeah.
energy, and
Yeah.
just make sure I'm spreading it out well because while I love DJing, I love partying too. Like anybody who knows me knows Kat resident
Loves
groovers.
to party. Yes.
Yeah. But I get tired. I get tired sometimes, you know? And even like I feel bad sometimes because I have to like say no to my friends. Like, no, I'm not staying out until 3 a.m.,
Yes.
guys. I'm
Yeah.
tired or I have
Yeah.
work to do, you know. But it
Yeah.
is what it is. At the end of the day, I need to take care of myself and I don't wanna find myself burning out and so incredibly
Yeah.
exhausted because I couldn't
Yeah.
set a boundary for myself. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And
So,
I was about to say that this is a perfect example of, somebody who is focused. You're really focused, and I've worked with you. You've got an excellent work ethic, and you do things with intention. But it's also important to remember that you won't be able to do much if you aren't fueling yourself, which means you need to take care of yourself. And if you
yeah.
are going to do it properly, like you take the breaks when you need them, you won't end up sitting back from being back from the hospital and the doctor says you're on bed rest for like a week or 2 weeks, or you're not allowed to go to work for 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
if you put yourself out there sparingly, then you're going to be able to still show up fully as you
As
all
my
the way.
best self.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly. Get me.
Which yeah. Yeah, which also makes me kind of want to go into and hear what you have to say about then showing up as a businesswoman, because you do have a business that you opened, and I think it's so amazing that you can make all of the things that you make. Like
Oh,
that's
thank
amazing
you.
to me. That is
Oh,
amazing to
thank you,
me.
friend. Oh my gosh.
That is so incredible. Anytime I see your stuff on Instagram, on your business page, I'm just like, wow, Kat is like talented. Like this is, oh my goodness me. And there's just so much of you to share with people through whatever you're sharing with people, or however you're doing it. DJing being one of them, and now that you also have a business, what have you found that you've needed to do more now that you've added onto your roster of the things that you're doing?
Sure. I don't want to lie. Running a business is hard. Like, it's so tough. This is the first time
Yeah.
I've ever run a business. I have no prior knowledge on how to actually do this. I'm just learning as I go, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's really hard. I don't want to lie. Like, there are days where I'm just like, I think I wanna call it. I can't do this. It's too
Yeah,
much
not
work
this.
for me,
Yeah, not
you know? But
this.
I'm just like, no, man, like, you're doing a really dope thing.
Yeah.
Um, for the listeners, I do like hand tufted rugs. Yeah, mostly I
Yes.
mostly do like custom stuff for people. So, if you want like a custom rug or wall art, I also do cushions. You order through me, I make the item for you and all. It's also very time consuming as well.
Yeah.
So it's been I've I'm still like it's been probably what, a year now, over a year since I
Yes. Oh my
started. And
goodness.
I'm still learning how to juggle running my business and doing everything else. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's really, really hard. I'm literally my own social media manager, my own content creator,
Everything.
my own
Everything.
accountant.
Everything.
So
Everything.
it's really hard. I mean, the other day, I'm like going through, I opened my Instagram for my
Yes.
business page.
Uh-huh.
To the number of messages I have not responded to, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, Kat, this is
Oh
not okay.
gosh.
This is not okay. So literally, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I think I want to put in my bio, commissions are currently closed because I am not managing right now. I need to
Yeah.
get a
Yeah.
grip and get a handle back on my life because there's just been
Yeah.
so much happening. And yeah, like I apologize to the people, like I'm really sorry I'm responding to this
Yes,
late.
sorry.
But
She just has like a lot on her plate right now.
yeah, yeah, like I was like, I just don't have the capacity right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's so hard running a business. I don't want to lie. Like, I don't even know how to make it easier for myself right now. Like, I'm just learning along the way. I'm
Yeah.
still figuring out my inventory system as well. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know these things. I studied science, guys. Like,
Yeah, and like it's just like a huge crossover that you're trying to do. But I do like the fact that you, when you saw that there's just too much going on, you had to cut back on a few things, which I think is really really important to do when you are busy and trying to build and just trying to make things happen for yourself. When you can see that you need to pull one flag so that you don't end up
yeah.
overwhelmed and
Yeah, and
exhausted.
it's not to say I'm abandoning my business.
Yes, no,
I
no,
need
no,
to go
yeah,
back to the drawing board.
yeah,
Um, Especially now because I'm a student again. Like, school
yeah,
is so demanding of my time. Like, I'm
yeah,
at school Monday to Friday.
yeah,
Saturday and
yeah.
Sunday, I'm busy with assignments, homework, whatever
Oh
it
my
is. So it's just like trying to figure out, okay, where can I fit
yeah,
in
yeah.
managing my business? And yeah, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't even wanna
I feel like that is so affirming for me, and I think for anyone else who just doesn't know what they're doing.
I
But you're
don't know what
doing.
I'm doing, but I'm doing it regardless. And
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
eventually get there.
yeah, yeah.
We
That's
fake
very
it till
true.
we make it.
Oh, 100%. That is very very true. But like I appreciate how you are speaking honestly about the fact that nothing is easy. And we shouldn't glamorize this whole working really hard and pushing ourselves, and it shouldn't be something that we go, "Oh, this is amazing." This is like you're girl bossing, you're tired, but you're girl bossing. You're tired, but
Mm,
you're making things happen for yourself. I think it's really important to acknowledge that it's draining. It's exhausting. Like you said, you don't know what you're doing. You're being honest. You're not
yeah,
saying I'm the strongest person in the room, which is also totally okay. Because a lot of the times, if not all the time, there's an expectation from Black women to show up and like just be able to do everything with maximum energy, and you're just present the whole time.
yeah.
And it doesn't work that way.
It's like I
And it's
get
okay.
tired too. I don't
Yes.
always know. Like,
Yes. Yes. You don't always
I
have the
should be
answers.
afforded the space to learn
Yes.
as we go along. But
Yes.
like, there's just this expectation for Black women, whatever space they enter, they just have to
Yeah.
be perfect from the jump.
Yes. Yes.
And it's
Yes.
just like, it's not fair. It's
No, it's
really not
not.
okay.
Because you're a human being. We are human beings, and there shouldn't be
Exactly.
this
Yeah.
strange expectation from us. So I really appreciate that you just, when you can see that it's gonna be too much, you give yourself the space. And I want every single black woman to know that it is okay to pull a plug and say, I'm not doing this anymore, or I'm not doing this for
Mm,
now. I'll come back
yeah,
to it.
yeah,
So yeah, I think that's something that we should all be doing. Like focus on resting so that you can portion everything properly and give your time to everything as you want to. Sometimes burnout also, oh my goodness, burnout will have you and then you just don't know whether you're moving backward or forward. So please
yeah,
take
yeah.
everybody take breaks when you need to take breaks. Don't push yourself and saying you're pushing yourself to your maximum potential. No, you are pushing yourself down a very dark rabbit hole. Don't do that to yourself. Please, please, please don't do that to yourself. So
Yeah.
actually, I wanna find out what, like, you know how things are different now. You know, when we are in primary school, friendship is different, high school friendship is different, and now that you're busy and you're doing so many different things, how have you had to show up in your friendships, and how have you had to show up as a friend to adjust to also all the other areas of your life and still be present and still be like a person that is growing with your friendships accordingly?
Um, I hope this doesn't sound weird, but I think it helps that all my friends are busy, you know. So, like we're all busy, so
Yeah.
we can't really feel bad that
Yeah.
oh, I haven't seen Tereto since
Yeah.
God, when last did I see? Was it Feb at
Yes.
Boiler Room?
At Boiler.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I haven't seen her since. I feel so bad, you know, because you're
Yeah.
also busy, but
Yeah. Yeah.
we make the time. I mean, I still
Yeah.
keep in touch with all my friends. I find
Yeah.
ways, whether it's just a text, a phone call,
Mm.
occasionally, hey, let's go out for breakfast,
Yes.
let's go out for a glass of wine. Sometimes, even if it's like, yo, I'm running errands the whole day today. Do you wanna hop
Wanna
in the
come
car with me?
with? Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So just finding those little pockets of time to
Yeah.
be like, hey friend, or hey, I was in your neighborhood. Can I come past and just quickly say hi? You know, even if
Yeah.
I spend
Yeah.
like 30 minutes with them, at least I got to see my friend.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm also learning that there's also just like different ways to show up for your friends. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be physical all the time,
Yes.
you know.
Yes. Yes.
Um, Especially like with me as a DJ, I'd love for all my friends to be at all my gigs all the time, but it's not
Yeah.
practical.
Yeah.
You know, they're busy, they have their lives too. But like they show up for me by simply posting the poster of my gigs, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
That's showing up for me and being a
Yeah.
supportive friend and
Yeah.
being a present friend as well.
Yeah.
Um,
True. That's very true.
yeah.
So it's like the
So
the little moments, just the little moments and the little things that happen that build up into one big thing, you know?
yeah, exactly. Because as adults now, like in high school, primary school, we could see our friends all the time. Even in
Yeah,
varsity, I
yeah,
do miss my varsity social life though so much. Because
yes,
like
yes.
I
Oh,
remember my friend who I was neighbors with, we would literally, there's some days we would be like, bruh, I'm not in the mood to go to school. Are
yeah.
you? Nah, okay, let's just hang out. And we just spend the whole day hanging out. Now, like, I haven't seen him in months.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
Exactly. This is what grown-up friendships look like.
yeah, I read a tweet. They're like,
Also,
yeah, there was a tweet that said, um, adult friendships be like, hey, miss you so much. Let's go out in November. Let's go out for breakfast in November or whatever. And in my head, I'm thinking,
that is
and
that
then
is
when November comes, we're gonna rain check to January. Because
because everyone's busy because there's something that comes up because there's just something. Oh my
yeah,
goodness
yeah.
me.
But like I do make it a
Yeah.
point to make sure that I need to see my friends, like anybody
Yeah.
who I care for
Yeah.
that matters to me, I
Yeah,
can't let
yeah,
a year go by where I have not seen them. Oh my gosh, no.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I do like to commit to like people's important events,
Yes, yes.
birthdays. Apparently we're old enough to get married now. That's
You know
weird.
what? Please, you're getting me a girl. No, no.
That's
You're
weird.
making me nervous. That's so weird. That is so
It's like
strange.
weddings? Okay, I'll definitely attend your wedding. I will, yeah, so birthdays, weddings. I
Yeah.
have a lot of friends who are artists, so if they have like really big shows as well,
Yes,
I'll
yes,
make
yes.
sure I buy a ticket, show up, you
Yeah.
know. So those are good ways for me to also just make sure I show up for my friends
Yeah,
despite
yeah, and
everything
you,
else that's happening
yeah,
around me.
100%.
Yeah,
So
because I
balance.
still care about you guys,
Yes,
like I
of
still love you
course.
guys.
Yeah,
And
and you know what? We know that we love each other and that there's so much space to take care of one another when we need
mm,
it. But we also understand that it's so busy right now. You are trying to hustle your way through so many things. You are really trying to work hard at all of it. And sometimes there just isn't time. And I think that's also the beauty your relationships with your friends and maintaining your sisterhood. It's knowing that now I have to communicate that this is how my and
yeah,
I just know that my friend is going to receive it well because that's kind of relationship that we have. And we also just understand that I'm busy, you're busy, but then we still love each other in the little ways, in the small ways. They eventually make up the really big
yeah,
way. Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
100%. So yeah, and with that being said, I then want to ask you, how have you been? How have you, or what has been influencing or directing how you are choosing to prioritize yourself and your well being now? So, for instance, is it like prioritizing your mental well being or your physical well being, or just prioritizing your overall well being? Is that what specifically has influenced how you are taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself?
I think for me, more than anything, I've really just been trying to prioritize my mental health
Yeah,
more than anything. That is top of my list,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it's so easy to get so overwhelmed and then you get anxious and then it's
Yeah.
stress and then
Oh,
you're incredibly
endless.
overwhelmed. You're now
Yeah,
even lethargic. You're just like, oh my gosh, I don't wanna do this anymore. I don't wanna live anymore. I don't wanna,
yeah. Oh,
Um, and it's just trying to keep myself out of those slumps as much
yeah,
as
yeah,
possible because
yeah.
yo, the slumps they come, bruh. And when they come, they're so hard to get out of.
And they are very hard to get out of. It's very difficult. It often feels like when I'm at my lowest in that way, it often feels like there's a very thick rope tied around my body, and I can't
Yeah,
move. I
exactly.
just
And just
can't.
yeah, so it's been that for me mostly. And
Okay.
the way I do that, I'll just like watch my favorite shows to help me calm down
Yeah,
sometimes when I'm very
yeah,
anxious. I joined the gym. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been in a couple of weeks, but I joined
okay,
the gym, and when I joined, one of the trainers had asked me, "Oh, like, what's your goal? Where do you aim to be via your body goals or
yeah,
fitness goals, whatever?" I'm like, I don't even want to lie to you. I'm not
yeah,
even here for like the physical part of gym. I'm
yeah.
here really just to get some endorphins and release some endorphins. Like,
Please,
I'm here
please.
solely for my mental health. Like, the body
Yeah,
goals and the fitness goals are just a bonus,
one hundred
but
percent.
I
I
feel
think.
so good after a workout, even if I'm
I was
just
like
on
in
the
the
treadmill
same.
for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It feels really good.
So
It feels like you've taken your mind off of something, and also like you're getting endorphins, so you're happy. You're fine. You're relaxed.
yeah, yeah, it's a great way
Yeah,
to start my day. I start my
yeah,
day with a somewhat clear mind, especially if I've just everything's been feeling fuzzy. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll literally go to the gym and run on the treadmill for 30 minutes. I won't even do like a full workout with weights or whatever, but just that movement really, really helps. Like,
Yeah.
if y'all cannot afford therapy, I can't afford therapy. Gym is
Therapy's
a
so
good place
expensive.
to
Look at
start. The
it's so
gym is a
expensive.
good place to start with just like
Yeah.
managing your mood, because
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I get lethargic so easily. Like, where it's like, I'm not in the mood for this. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to hear from anyone. Um, yeah, I
It's
be in
just
those moods a lot.
overwhelming.
Yeah, but the working out helps just balance that out for me. And also, I've also just watched like the people that I surround myself with, like
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
surround myself with people who make me feel good. Like,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I'm with you, I feel good. We're not complaining the whole time we're together,
Yeah.
talking negatively about whatever it is. And I'm not saying don't
Exactly.
complain, like vent, complain, but let's do it just to release and then
Yes. Yes. It mustn't.
get
It
back
mustn't
after
be our
that.
daily bread. It mustn't be our daily bread,
Yeah,
and it's we dwell on.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I also try to make sure I'm with people who are making me feel good when I'm with them. And if I'm with
Very
you and I don't
important.
feel nice, I'm gonna cut our interactions short.
Not
I'm
again.
okay, I gotta
Not
go
by
home
me.
now. Bye.
Yes.
You know?
Goodbye. No
Um,
compromising on that.
yeah, even in like social settings, there's times where, okay, cool, the first hour was fun, but now
Yeah.
I'm not feeling this anymore. I'll just be like,
Yeah.
guys, sorry, I gotta be out,
It's not
you know?
working. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
A very
but
important part of growing up and knowing what is good for you and what isn't, and not making
yes,
excuses about it.
yeah, so the energy you
Yeah.
surround yourself with is really, really
Very
important
important.
as well.
Very, very, very important. Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
it's not something to be taken lightly. I will always encourage stepping back and figuring out whether you actually feel good about who you are surrounded by and who you actively choose to surround yourself with. And if the answer is yes, then keep nurturing those relationships. But if the
mm,
answer is no, you need to move away because whether we like it or not, people's energies, especially the ones that we allow into our lives very closely, they do affect a lot. How
yeah,
we choose to behave around them, how we feel when we are around them. And those are always going to be things that you don't take lightly because you're a grown up and you can't make excuses and be like, oh no, it's because of this, it's really not that deep when it actually is deep. And
yeah,
you must just always make sure that you are mindful as a person of what you are choosing to consume, like in whichever way, whether it's what you are watching or reading or the social media platforms you choose to be on, even the people that you choose to have around you. So, yeah,
yeah. Speaking of
yeah,
consumption, like even, I mean, I know I'm on Twitter a lot, but oh
yeah,
gosh, the way I've tailored my TL is kind of
yes,
ridiculous. I'm literally like in my own little bubble there. Like, there could be a trending topic on
yeah. I love that
whatever.
for you.
I won't even
You
know.
won't.
Like,
You
like
won't. You won't.
I'm just in my own little world, especially now with the circles feature. Oh my gosh, that's the greatest thing
Oh,
ever.
yes. Oh, my
I
goodness.
only have to interact with people that I choose to interact with, you
Exactly.
know?
Exactly.
Ah,
And
it's
that's,
amazing because that platform, it gets so toxic. You're
it
constantly
does.
exposed to
Oh, my
people's
goodness.
weird thoughts and opinions. And it's like you're
Yeah,
entitled
no.
to your opinion, but sometimes it's like, that's toxic. That's weird.
Yeah, no. On Twitter it gets weird very quickly, and that's why some people end up leaving, and that's why you decided you're going to tailor your TL for it to look a specific way, and
Yeah,
it's your TL, and that bubble is yours to live in, and I'm so happy for you. Sometimes I wish I didn't see, like I didn't, sometimes people will retweet a video that comes from 55 TLs away, and I'm just
yeah.
like, why, what's going on. It has gotten better though, because sometimes it's easier when you can see who is retweeting all of this, and it's always them. Then you just like block them or you unfollow them, and it just
Yeah,
becomes easier.
exactly.
So that's a boundary you're creating for yourself. Very important for us to create boundaries, or else you're gonna find yourself in very weird positions, like a lot of the time, because people can be weird.
Yeah,
People can be very, very, very
oh
strange.
my
People can be
gosh.
so weird. It's wild. But yeah, I really I appreciate like how much it's just amazing that when you grow up or you grow into yourself, you know what you want and you like create the boundaries. And obviously it's not easy. It's something you should work on always, to know that when you're going to approach this, this is how you're going to approach it. You don't want this, you don't want that. It's not for you. It's not going to work for you. And I think it's
Mm,
great that you're taking care of yourself in that way, that when things are not working according to how you want them to work, you shift them around, which is what everybody should be doing, because it's your life and it's your space and it's your environment.
yeah.
Yeah. And so the one of the last are, what makes you the proudest of you right now? Like what are the things that you are doing to take care of yourself? How are they helping you? And like, is there anything else that you do a lot more now to look out for yourself, that factors into what makes you proud of yourself?
Mm, yeah, the proud of myself chat is so it's a bit of a I don't like sensitive kind of topic, but I'll
Okay.
share anyways. I'll
Okay.
be
I
raw and
appreciate
unfiltered.
I appreciate that.
Like I was talking to one of our friends
Yes.
the other day, and I was just like, yo, I miss the old cat. And she was
Yeah.
also like, I also miss my old self, like
Yeah.
pre-pandemic cat.
Oh
And
my goodness.
I was just like,
Girl.
no man, before 2020, like that version of me
Yeah.
felt so like I was so sure of myself and
Yeah,
who I
yeah, yeah.
am and what I want out of this life. And I was always just so eager to participate in life. Like, even if I was having a bad day, like I
It's
could say,
okay.
the saying,
Yeah.
it's just a bad day, not a bad life. Like, I could say it
Yes.
with so much conviction and just believe it.
Yeah.
And yes, okay, we're gonna get through this. And nowadays it's a bit harder because I
Yeah.
think with all the uncertainty that came
Oh
when the
my goodness.
pandemic hit,
Yeah.
it's just you're uncertain about okay, what's gonna happen to me via because I was still studying at the time. Am I
Yeah.
gonna graduate on time? Am I gonna be able to find a job on time?
Oh my.
Um, is my relationship gonna last these however many months that I cannot see my partner?
Yeah.
Is what
Shit.
about my
A lot.
friendship? You know, it was just so much. It's like, oh my gosh, people are dying.
Dude.
Are my friends and
Oh
family
my
gonna make
goodness.
it out of this pandemic? Am I gonna
Yeah.
make it out of this pandemic? Like there was just so much uncertainty, and I feel like I may have kind of, can I say like internalized it and it affected like
Yeah.
just my character as a whole because
Yeah.
I was like, who the hell is Kat?
Yeah. True.
Post all of this
True.
uncertainty, like especially because most of us are starting over again,
Yes. Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
like I've been, taking steps trying to work towards being my previous self. But I was
Uh-huh.
also like I was having a conversation with myself. God, let me tell you, I'd be hosting podcasts in my car. Like
I
I
love
talk to
it.
myself. I was talking to myself. I'm like, maybe it's not necessarily that I need to work towards going back to that cat,
Yeah.
but rather reinventing myself into a person who is an even better version of
There we go.
pre-pandemic cat,
Yeah.
like so I'm really just trying to be, take steps towards just being a person who is still, sure of herself,
Yeah.
who knows what
Yeah.
she wants out of life. But maybe what I want out of life is different to back then.
Yes. Very
You
true.
get
Very
me?
true. Very
Yeah,
true.
so I'm being patient with myself. I'm taking time to rediscover myself, relearn myself. Um,
Okay.
I'm finding new interests, new hobbies.
Yes.
I'm learning new skills. Heck, I'm in design school now,
Oh my goodness. Like, you know
And
what? You're
it's
just
like,
moving. You are moving.
whoa, who would have thought that this would be me?
Yes.
And while I
Yes.
mean, school has its challenges, but like I'm enjoying school so much, even though sometimes it gives me a headache, but I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the learning. I'm enjoying showing my lecturers my work, like this is what I've
Yeah.
done, and them saying, absolutely well done, you get it,
Yeah.
good job, you know. Um, yeah, it's just like, oh, okay. So turns out I'm actually very capable of being
Yeah.
a
I'm
designer.
doing
And I was
this.
even I was even telling another friend of mine, I was like, actually I feel like I belong here, like
Yeah. And
here in this school.
that's something amazing to feel. That's it's
Yeah,
precious to feel that I don't even have the words to describe it.
yeah, because I mean, during the pandemic and whatever, I just felt so misplaced.
Yeah.
Even while I was studying, I was just like previously when I was doing my BSc, I was just like, I don't even know if this is right for me anymore.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
came a time where it was, but now it's like, I'm not so sure,
Yeah.
But like being in design school now, I just feel so at home.
Oh,
I'm,
that be your friend. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
there's a
That's
sense of,
amazing.
yeah,
That's
there's a sense
amazing.
of there's somewhat a sense of knowing, I guess,
Yes.
like a lot
Yes.
of the uncertainty I may have previously felt is
Yeah.
some of it is somewhat alleviated through just belonging to something and feeling like I'm so good at this. I love this so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. Even like I'm a bit of a social butterfly, but like I've made so many new friends in the past year, and
Oh,
those
that's
friendships are
beautiful.
fulfilling in their own ways. I'm learning
Yes.
stuff about myself through those friendships. I have one
Yeah.
friend who is so raw with me, like he just tells it like it is.
You
Like,
and we need that.
cat, stop it. You
Yeah.
are the villain, you are the drama. And I'm just like, what? No, could never be. He's like, yeah, absolutely. And this is why I think so. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. And actually never thought about it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm learning more about myself through my friendships, even the relationship I have with my family, like
Yeah.
specifically my mom. My
Yeah.
mom as well, she is so raw and unfiltered with me. Sometimes I cry when she
Oh
tells me
my
the things
goodness.
she tells me about myself. I'm like, no, I'm not a bad person, though. She's like, no, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying I think this is something to
Yeah.
reflect on,
I'm telling you, yeah, look into this. And I think that's also the really amazing thing about letting yourself grow is that you are going to be more open to hearing certain things and seeing certain things. It won't be, you won't take it as this is coming from a place of hate or this person just wants to humiliate me, but it's also going to be an opportunity for you to reflect because you've opened yourself up to this and you are intentional about like looking out for yourself and intentional about who you're going to show up as to other people, especially people whose life you play a role in and who play a role in your life.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
all in all, like to say what I'm most proud of myself for is that despite everything, like I'm always gonna try. I'm gonna keep trying,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
because I tend to give up easy,
Yeah.
but there are moments where I was just like, no, I can't give up on this. I need to keep
Yeah.
going. And just the fact that I'm trying, I'm acknowledging that I am a work in progress.
True.
There
True.
are gonna be mess ups along the way, but as long as we keep trying, we keep trying to be better
Yeah.
versions of ourselves. We keep trying to improve our lives. We keep trying to be good to the people around us.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I try. I'm genuinely trying.
And you know what? That's more than enough. I feel like one of the biggest takeaways from today's episode for me is reminding myself that it's important to keep trying, because like you're
Mm,
saying, it's just you have to again and then again and then again, and eventually it will lead you to where you're trying to get to. And I think that's sometimes something that we forget when we just stop and say, I'm not doing this anymore. You do still want to get to the place that you want to get to, and it's okay to
yeah,
take a break sometimes, but don't leave it. Don't leave it until you've tried, like until you've given yourself a chance, because you deserve to give yourself a chance as well. So yeah, keywords being keep
absolutely.
trying. Keywords are definitely
Absolutely.
keep trying and keep
Yeah.
pushing. And
Yeah, also just like back to the topic of friends and family, like I have people in my corner who are literally like rooting for me
yeah, yeah,
constantly. You know,
that
a
support.
friend of mine sent me a message earlier that was
Uh-huh.
just so affirming. And it's like, you know
Yeah.
what, Kat? You're not doing bad. Stop being so hard on
Yes,
yourself. Like,
exactly,
you're doing okay.
exactly.
You're trying. Keep going. You need those people in your life that
Yeah,
also help, that also push you to do your
yeah,
best, to be your
yeah,
best.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 100% true, and that's, oh my goodness, you said a mouthful. I want to, I want to say that like what you've said is what I've just been thinking about as well in terms of getting to the end of the episode. But I think it's also really really important. Like this month is specifically all the messaging, all of they are specifically directed to Black women. And like if it's something that you're struggling with, where you are struggling to navigate the busyness in your life, and you're not just unintentionally busy, like you're busy trying to achieve different dreams and make things happen for yourself, it's okay to
Mm,
sometimes slow down. It's okay to sometimes say, this is too much, I'm going to stop with this one for now, and then I'll carry on when I can see that there's time for me to do it properly. Like it's really okay to give yourself a break and let yourself breathe. And also, it's okay to decide that you're going to do something else. Because, like you said, Kat, you studied for 4 years. You did a completely different degree to what you are pursuing right now, which is
yeah.
fine. You're allowed to
Yeah.
change your mind.
As human beings, we're not one-dimensional people. Like,
Exactly.
we are so
Exactly.
layered, and
Yeah.
life itself is so layered. Like, there's just so much
Yeah.
out there to discover about
Yeah.
life, about yourself. So I'm constantly just
Very.
opening up myself to that, and just
Yeah.
I want to be the many different versions of myself in this one life that I have, you know.
Girl, same.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Louder. Yes, 100%. Louder. More of that. So, yes, I think
Mm.
this is a really good place to end this week's episode. Kat, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for having this conversation with me. I really appreciate it. Oh my goodness, you're also the first guest on this podcast since I started
Really? I
it.
feel so
Girl.
honored.
Girl, you are the first guest on this podcast, and I'm really, really grateful. Thank you for your support and for always believing in me, and like that you think that I'm somebody that you can work with. That is so cool to me, man. Like, I think that's amazing.
Absolutely.
I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening. You are more than welcome to share
Thank
your
you for
thoughts.
having me.
Thank you so, so much, Kat. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate the support that everybody gives this podcast. I'm really, really grateful. You are more than welcome to share your thoughts via DM on Instagram or in the comment section of this week's post on Instagram. So what I meant to say was via DM on Instagram or in the comment section of this week's post. Our handle is at @a_cupful. You can also leave a comment under this week's episode via which platform you are listening from. So if you're listening from Anchor or Google Podcasts, whichever one, please leave a comment and let me know what you thought about this week's conversation. A Cupful is available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Amazon Music. for you to listen to. And pretty please spread this podcast as far and wide as you can. And don't forget to leave that 5-star rating. Please, please, please. You know you like it here. You know you like the conversations we have. So leave a good old 5-star rating for your girl. Enjoy the remainder of your week. Rest when you need to, play when you need to, and work when you need to. More importantly, don't forget to keep doing the things that fill your cup up.